Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. One day I woke up to a call from Interpol giving me 5 hours to report to their office. A few minutes later, my embassy called me to asking me to go to their office in 24 hours. Then my boss called me the very minute the lady from the embassy dropped the call. My boss was very furious with me, to say the least. She sounded very disappointed in me. She asked me to tell her about myself and asked me to tell her everything, and everything should be the truth. You see, I had worked with my boss for 4 years and we had a very unusual relationship between an employee and the employer. She treated me like her own daughter, as I also treated her like my mother. Let's say she had informally adopted me, though I worked for her. I had spent a lot of time with her family and everyone knew and loved me. I loved everyone too. I attended all her children's and grandkids' birthday parties. I had been at all family gatherings, including vacations and all seasonal celebrations. This was from the very first time we met. I had basically become part of her family. She had, at so many occasions, trusted me to babysit her grandkids and her dog Raiben. So I told her everything I knew about myself, but I just seemed not to hit what she really wanted to hear. She then asked me why she had received very disturbing news about me and why she had been called in at Interpol. She also told me that Interpol had told her that I'm not who she thinks I am, and she was advised to distance herself from me. In fact, she had also been asked to fire me on the spot, but my boss, being the person she is, she decided to call me first. She had decided to give me a benefit of a doubt. I had no idea what was really going on, but I then realized that I was in so much trouble, but had no idea what I had done wrong. My brain could not stop running, searching for what I could have done wrong to necessitate all that drama that was happening that early morning. I'm an introvert. I keep to myself a lot and I have very few friends, and none of my friends were involved in any illegal activities that I knew of. So I pleaded with my boss to tell me what Interpol had told her about me, but she insisted that I knew what was going on and needed to snap out of my pretense. Well, I had to rush to Interpol with my boss. That's all she could do for me. Like I said, my boss is an incredible person. I also needed someone I trust to go with to all these places that I had been summoned to. We got to Interpol offices and were directed to the office that had summoned us there. When we got there, I was escorted to an interrogation room while my boss watched me through the tinted glass. I remained in that room for about 30 minutes before anyone came to speak to me. I then started crying. I cried hysterically, basically because I had no idea what was going on. I had not been told what I had done wrong still. Well, I was also crying because I could not believe I was in such an impossible situation. Never in my whole life had I ever imagined myself in so much trouble. You see, I'm very prudent in every single way. I could not possibly have done something so detrimental. Well, after 30 minutes, two officers walked into the room and one of them dropped my photos and photos of several men on the table. I stared at the photos in disbelief. I wondered where they could have possibly got my photos from. They then asked me whether I knew the person in the pictures, and I admitted it was me. They then presented photos of different men and asked whether I knew any or all of them. I had no idea who those men were. I had never seen any of them at one time in my life. They then showed me different profiles created in my name with my photos and asked if it was me in the profiles. It was me in the profiles. Yes. And the names on the profiles were mine too, but I had never created any profile on any dating site before. The interrogation continued. The officer went on to tell me how they had got my number and the reason I had been summoned. So Interpol had received numerous reports about a lady who had scammed men from different dating sites. One of them had even sold his house to help the apparent love of his life get the medical attention. Apparently, their scammer had claimed to be very sick and that she needed urgent medical attention, and so that's how she managed to scam so many men. She had also promised to visit them as soon as she got well. But it was obviously not me, I told the officers. I could never do such a thing to anyone. But who was that? I wondered. I had not shared my photos with anyone apart from my family members. I do not even post my photos on Facebook. My WhatsApp profile is a random picture of nature. So whoever used my photos had to be very close to me. Well, the officers told me the dates in which the profiles were created and asked if I had shared my photos with anyone before. Obviously, I had shared my photos with my family, my mother, my sister, and my brothers. But I recalled that the last person that I had shared my photos with was my brother, my elder brother. So, a few months before the interrogation, my brother had reached out to me and requested me to send him a photo of myself. It had been a while since I last talked to him, let alone see my family. As you have already noticed, I'm in diaspora, very far from home. I had not been home in 4 years, but I talked to my family all the time over the phone. However, I had taken long to talk to my older brother, so when he reached out requesting for my photo, I did not even think twice. I just sent. He asked for another one and another one, and he told me to send more than one. He also requested me to send him photos in different settings. That's how I ended up sending him photos with my boss and her family. I told him about my boss and our incredible connection, and in case you're wondering how my boss is involved in this whole situation, it's because when I shared photos with my brother, I had also shared with him photos that I had taken with my boss and her family. I did not even bother asking him why he wanted so many photos of me. And why would I? He is family. My brother had also never been involved in any illegal activities before, so I trusted him with my photos. The officer asked me to call my brother, which I did. I asked him what he had done with my photos, but he had no idea what I was talking about. I then asked him if he had shared my photos with anyone, and he reluctantly said he had only shared my photos with his girlfriend. So he narrated that his girlfriend had one day asked him for his sister's photos. That's how he requested me for the photos. And all the demands my brother had made when I shared my photos when were coming from his girlfriend. She claimed that she wanted to post about her future sisters-in-law on her status and also wanted to know more about my brother's family. So the cat was out of the bag. It was obviously not me, and it could have possibly been my brother's girlfriend who had created those profiles to scam men, since she was the only person who had access to my photos outside my family. I then pleaded with my brother to collaborate with Interpol and expose his girlfriend, but he had not seen her in a while. She had just disappeared after she got my photos and he had no idea where to find her. Well, after that disturbing discovery, Interpol let me go and called my embassy to let me off the hook. Apparently, the embassy was going to confiscate my passport and I was going to be apprehended by Interpol same day. However, one day while we were having dinner at my boss's place, we heard a knock at the door. The guys from Interpol had come to let me know in person that the lady had been apprehended and I was a free woman. They also handed me a letter granting my freedom from the case. Believe me, to this day, I had never shared my photos with anyone, and I don't think I'll ever. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and also come back for more real life stories on this channel. Bye.